Hey, this is Kenny for Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. For those of you who are new to my videos, new to my channel, please like and subscribe. That'll help me out. In this video, I'm going to quickly show you my Pablo jazz records in my record collection. It's not going to be all of them. I was able to get a few out, ones that came to mind immediately, but I, at least at the top of my head, I have a few out to show you. I could probably pull out maybe, I don't know, 25 more, something like that, if I went through my entire collection. But I just show you a small sample size of the ones I have. They're going to be all records, vinyl records, with exception of two. There are two CDs that just happen to be sitting out. I'll show you those as well. But like I said, I'll go through these quickly. This came to mind because of the Pablo reissue series by Analogue Productions that Analogue Productions is doing. So I thought I'd show you the Pablo records in my collection. Like I said, not all of them, but a fair amount of them. And Pablo was a great music label. They really were featuring some of the giants of jazz: Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Duke Ellington, Joe Pass, and many, many others were on that label. Zoot Sims and several others. It was a magnificent label. I wish they would do more reissues of other jazz labels, like CTI or something like that. Somebody needs to do a reissue series on CTI records. That would be awesome. But like I said, I'm going to go through these quickly and show you what I have. And I'm starting with two CDs. This one literally I bought a couple of weeks ago. It features Oscar Peterson, Joe Pass, Stefan Grappelli. This is a CD, and I haven't listened to this entire CD, maybe half of it. It sounds awesome on my CD player and my DAC. It's a great CD. It really, really is. And this was sitting out too. This is a 6 CD compact disc set. Art Tatum, a lot of stars on this set. And like I said, it's a 6 CD set. Comes with a nice booklet. And about this is at a swap meet for not too much money at all. Maybe a couple of dollars or something like that. Several years ago. That's a booklet. But this is on Pablo records as well. Now I'm going to get to the records. And the first two were reissued on this, what calls it? Musical, these call it music, MHS, Musical Heritage Society. I believe that's what you call it. This is a reissue of a Pablo record, and Zoot Sims and the Gershwin brothers is the name of the title. But this is a Pablo reissue, I believe. Yeah, Pablo Jazz Classics. And another reissue was this one, the ones for Blanton. This one's for Blanton, I'm sorry. This again is on the MHS label. This was a reissue of the Pablo original. I can show you the label. This is a label. I don't know how well it's coming out. But this is a very clean copy of that, of the reissue. Now I'm going to get to some of the originals that I have. This one is, I'm going to go through several Joe Pass records. This one's a Montreux Pass record. All these, I'd say, the vast majority of these Pablo records that I have, if not, yeah, vast majority of them, with exception maybe one or two, were purchased at thrift stores for like $1 throughout the years. They were easily accessible, when people were switching over from vinyl to CDs. And so I was able to find a lot of them really quick. And like I said, they were just $1. This one, this Pablo here, it says Pass, and this one here have a similar cover. Show you the stars on this album. Great lineup. Zoot Sims, Clark Terry, Roy Eldridge, Benny Carter, Joe Pass, Tommy Flanagan. Great lineup on that one. This is Virtuoso Joe Pass record. I have this on SACD as well. Great record. This is a Virtuoso 2 Joe Pass on Pablo Records. I'm really glad that Analogue Productions is reissuing this great series, and I hope they expand the series to more records. This is Joe Pass 2 for the Road, Joe Pass Herb Ellis. This one, this cover variant is in black and white, and this one is in color. But they are the exact same record, from what I can see. Getting some Oscar Peterson Oscar Peterson Pablo Records. Oscar Peterson Quartet Joe Pass, Louis Belson, Niels Peterson. I do notice that some of these Pablo record covers a little bit on the cheap side compared to some of the other records of that era, at least the quality of the cover. But it's the disc that counts. It's Oscar Peterson and Clark Terry. And it's a joy to go back and listen to some of these Pablo records of some of these jazz giants. It really is. What a blessing. Oscar Peterson, Joe Pass, Ray Brown. Zoot Sims Pablo record. This is called Digital 3. Now this was recorded digitally in 1979, July 12, 1979, in one session. Ella Fitzgerald, Joe Pass, Count Basie. I think this might be a colored record variant. I'll show it to you. It was a digital record recorded in 1979, issued in 1980, I believe. Called Digital 3 at Montreux, issued in 1980. I think this is one of the part of the Analogue Productions series, I believe. I'm almost sure. I could be wrong. That's Ella Fitzgerald, by the way, another Ella Fitzgerald record. This was Ella Fitzgerald featuring the music of Jobim, Antonio Carlos Jobim songbook. It features some really great artists. I'll show you the inside of the gatefold. I'm getting to a lot of Count Basie's. I did with a lot of Count Basie Pablo records. But Count Basie was a marvelous leader, a marvelous piano player and jazz musician. Kansas City Count Basie 3, Kansas City Count Basie 6, Kansas City 7. Is Basie Jam at Montreux. This is a live recording. They did some, Pablo did some really great live recordings. I think I have like maybe 3 or 4 in this batch here anyway. Count Basie Big Band, Montreux 77. Louis Bellson, what a great jazz drummer he was. No, Louis Bellson. Louis Bellson, great jazz drummer. Here's some Sarah Vaughan ones. I think I bought this one when I was in high school. No, it has been college. This is one I actually purchased in 1981. I was in college, not high school. I like this Brazilian record. Another Sarah Vaughan Brazilian record. And this one is what part of the reissue series of Analogue Productions. And this is one I'm definitely going to buy when it's reissued, because this album sounds absolutely awesome. So I'm looking forward for the reissue of this one, just to see what it sounds like compared to an original. Here's one of those live ones I was telling you about. This features Oscar Peterson, Louis Bellson, John Hurd, called Pablo Live. They did some great live recordings they did. Here's another live Montreux. Some of these might be repeats. This looks like a repeat, but it's not. As you see, these are different. This one's a Montreux jam session. This one is a Montreux 77. Hope you see the difference. And I think you have two more, and that's it. Big Joe Turner, Jimmy Witherspoon. And the last one I recently bought at a thrift store. Pablo records getting more and more difficult to find at thrift stores. You don't rarely find them anymore. But this is actually a Pablo record. The cover does not look like the traditional Pablo covers, but it is actually a Pablo record of Benny Carter. So those are my Pablo, a part of my Pablo record collection. If I went through my entire collection, I could probably pull out maybe at least 10 to 20 more at least. But those are the ones that come to mind, at least on the top of my head immediately. And like I said, it was a marvelous label. And like I said, I'm really happy to see Analogue Productions break out of the mold of doing some of these more traditional jazz labels, like, you know, the Blue Note series, Prestige. And so it's great that they're doing Pablo. Like I said, it'd be cool if they were to mix in like some CTI records, a CTI series, and some of these more obscure jazz record labels that gone unnoticed during this reissue series. But like I said, that's just a small sample size. I shouldn't say small sample size. That's the majority of my Pablo records. Not all of them, but the majority. But please leave your comments in the comment section below and give your thoughts on the Pablo series. Thank you much for viewing my video. God bless, strong love, and keep the peace worldwide.